Hello, my peeps. Give me just a minute. I want to give it a minute. Do you know that this morning when I woke up, I had a notification from 1 hour earlier that on the Joni Rotten channel, that Rotten Shorts was going live. It took a whole day to reach me. So that's what we're playing against. And so I thought I'd try to get the stream up earlier this time, give it again some time to even make it, and then we'll wait a few minutes. And then I've got some very interesting things that have just, you know how I do. So I have thoughts, they make me think of things, and then I go and look at things, and then I'm just watching things, and then that makes me have other things. Hello, you like Jerry and Turning Guns. Turning Guns, welcome back. I'm glad that you found us over here. So, yeah, I've got a song. These are my quotes for the day. 1% of the world will live forever, bought and paid for by the other 99%, and you will never get so much as a thank you. They're just not very nice. And of course our ticker at the bottom, wiki how to control people. These are the steps. This is how you do it. And they will be tickering across the bottom for us to remind ourselves when we're in here how they trick us. So let's read through them together. Hello, Kieran. How to control people. This is from WikiHow, Wikipedia's version of questioning. Number 1, understand other people. Number 2, choose appropriate goals. Number 3, find their motivation. 4, identify the most powerful motivation. Number 5, understand what's holding them back. Number 6, let you see themselves as heroes. Number 7, give them a sense of community or identity. Number 8, do things for them. Give them things. Number 9, let them see you in control. 10, use convincing language. 11, appeal to their emotions. 12, appeal to their logic. 13, don't forget to flatter them. And 14, make them think it was their idea. 15, cause them to worry. 16, make it time sensitive. And I have nothing up my sleeve. Voodoo. Anyway, so I see we've got a few more people coming in. So welcome, everybody. First place today was Jerry. Excellent. First place. Turning Guns, you came in second place. You get the silver medal. And Ulick came in third. He's the bronze. Karen, you're 4. You're in 4th place. And Suzanne came in at 5th place. Go, Suzanne. And I'm sure Paul is around there somewhere listening in the background, as so many of us do. I got a resend of the 8-minute and puny, yes, a resend. Interesting. Yeah, I did that before. I did save them on my computer, but before I had deleted them off, I just wanted to capture them all and have them in one location. So somebody didn't have to watch the whole 5 hours if they were interested in just going further in what she had pulled up. So that was kind of why I did that. And so before we got 7 people in now, that's excellent. Okay, BB, yes, I am a long time BB fan. Love that girl. She is on it, always has been for the amount of years I've known her. She is genuine. I've never seen her do or act or be anything other than what she is. And I love that about her. So, and our paths don't cross often because the algorithm, it tries to triangulate us and keep us from talking. But we remember that we exist every once in a while and we go back and forth. So I've always really, admired her, loved her, and appreciate her. And I'm a big supporter, a big fan of BB. So if you're not subscribed to BB Truth, you should be. Let us know. We'll get you the link. And and since you're back, I can imagine, I'm just assuming that you enjoyed yesterday. Suzanne, you've not been knighted. So now there you go, because this is my new channel. And Turning Guns, I'm going to give you a spanner. You're now knighted into the Rotten Kingdom. And that just people that have, people that are blue in here, it's so that you can link, you can go to each other's channels. So you can share links of interesting things that you come across lately. So we're a Sherry family, but nothing about aliens or religion or any of that. We try to stay in the realm of what we actually have information on from the mouths, from the horse's mouth kind of people. So it's not that we don't enjoy that stuff, but for these, we try to keep that to our own personal business. Because Lord knows I've been on many rapture watches over the years. Okay. Our other rotten female, Suzanne. Yes, BB Truth. We love her. Yep, everybody knows. And again, it's Suzanne. Many of us in here have known each other. I think everyone in here has known each other for years. Parsnips here. What's up? It's Huey. So welcome to the kingdom. Okay. So before I get started, I do have a song like I do. So I'm going to play this song, keeping in mind, of course, the lyrics. And this is an old channel. It's like 12 years old, and it looks like just this kid, and there's no subscribers. I haven't looked at the channel itself, but it appears as if, he kind of did this for a minute and then stopped. And so, let's all go over there. Whoa. And we're going to play a song a couple times. And, if you'd like to, you can go give him a thumbs up or save the link to watch later and say, leave a comment, say the Rotten Kingdom appreciates that you put this song out and you didn't copyright it because you're so small and we get to listen to it. And I think he does a pretty good job. So here we go. So I'm going to put him up. And we'll listen. Do we like it like that? Do we want him so big? How about, I like this better. Because if you have a big screen, I don't like somebody's face. That bugs me. So I'm going to do it this way. I'd rather you have my face. Okay, here we go. And then we'll come back with our tabs.
I must have dreamed a thousand dreams, been haunted by a million screams. I can't hear them marching feet, they're moving into the street. Now did you read the news today? They say the danger's gone away, but I can hear the fire still light. They're burning into the night. There's too many men, too many people making too many problems. There's not much left to go around. Can't you see this is a lot of confusion? Now this is the world we live in, and these are the hands we're given. Yes, then let's start trying to make it a place worth living in. Oh yeah. This is the place, so we look for the future. There's not much left to go around. Tell me why this is a lot of confusion. Now this is the world we live in, and these are the hands we're given. Use them and let's start trying to make it a place worth living in. Oh yeah. When the sun is shining, yes, and the stars were bright, all through the night, the sound of your laughter as I held you tight, so long ago. I won't be coming home tonight. My interaction will put it right. We're not just making promises that we know we'll never keep. Too many men, too many people making too many problems. Not much love to go around. Can't you see this is a land of confusion? Yeah, now this is the world we live in, and these are the hands we're given. Use them and let's start trying to make it a place worth fighting for. This is the world we live in, and these are the names we're given. Stand up and let's start showing. Here's where our lives are going to. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna do it now.
Okay, that was so it looks like he's still going, but it's still a small channel. So it might be. He was pretty good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was good. My main squeeze is here. Say hi.
Oh, I'm on the air.
I said that. I said I'm unmuting now.
Oh,
Say hi to everybody.
hello, everybody.
Not half bad. Yes.
What are you doing?
Excellent. Hang on. Okay, sorry, family thing. By a non. Oh, I see what we were talking about. I'll just leave that up there. It was an excellent tune. So, I'm gonna, throw the link out again in case, it's just so you know, that's the link to his channel. I've subscribed. We'll see what other things he's got. He's tiny, but he does pretty good. That one was from years ago. So, look at all the stuff he's got since then. So we'll have to, there he is, 12 years ago. So we'll have to enjoy him some more. See what else he's got on there. Excellent. 5 months ago. All right, look, maybe, look, he's getting a little bit more. You can watch his progression. Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you, Jonas Wendon. You've got some new fans and subscribers over here. Yeah. The lyrics are, that's really what I'm. I heard the song the other day on the radio when I was driving, and I was like, now that is a song. We keep talking about songs. That's a song. Okay. So let's go. Let's change our tabs. I'm glad everybody is here. Welcome if I've missed you or you're just listening. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of got to do this. I don't know, to get this up here. Pull this up here. Okay, stop. All right. Where is it? Okay. So I was listening to some Charlie today. I haven't really sat. I kind of like to let his videos stack up because I enjoy binge listening. So I've been going through a couple weeks worth of Charlie. He's been throwing them out there. So there is, a handful of them. And that guy, honestly, just one of the best real people talking about real shit that you will come across on the internet. Look out for Charlie, Husanistic Live, of course, Suzanne. These are some of the few. Darth News. I mean, we can throw them out there. Throw your names out. Share links if you feel the need. I'll blabber for 10 minutes so you have time to go grab the link. These are channels that are truly saying things that are not being said, and I just so appreciate the things that they make me think of. It blows my mind. And if they weren't there. And I like to put myself in that group. However, I really just am just a normal person who takes the things that they are saying and I go, here's my questions. And I answer my own questions off of what they're bringing to me. Right. And the truth is that the things that I'm interested in, I found them while researching that. That's how I've even I've been following Charlie, Look Out for Charlie, for, since my time on YouTube. So well over, 5 years. I don't even know how long his channel's been there. I can't say from the beginning, but I can remember I've been with him long enough to know where he was and where he is. And when I first came across him, I wasn't quite sure what he was doing, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but he was answering questions about things that I was looking answers for. Where do we get the idea of ghosts? Why are we hearing voices of God? Because I like the psychological and behavioral aspect of things. And why is this happening? And the things that he was sharing just seemed like the right fit. And he has gone so far past any expectation I had ever expected. And I kept waiting for him to put up some video that he lost the plot and just stays there. Husanistic started sharing the medical information that was coming from his perspective over there with the fentanyl deaths. Just a normal guy who just sees something and goes, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. And he starts sharing. And then I find him and he's sharing things on the same fucking articles that I'm reading and I'm sharing about the Epstein-Barr virus and the connections between herpes and Fauci and AIDS. And he's putting together the same pieces I'd been already putting together, but in a much better way. These are we are an invaluable source, and just in our tiny little group, the amount of people that we have here just sharing their stuff, our ideas on other things that we see, just the fact that we are doing that is so helpful to the greater good, regardless of how tiny, I'm a gnat. I'm not even a gnat. I'm a plankton, but if enough plankton get involved, they can feed a whale. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's there. Everybody, we're all doing the right thing. Okay. And I'm just really proud of the type of research we do, staying within reality, removing supernatural, removing science fiction, and looking at things. And so there's that. So I was on Charlie this morning. And in one of Charlie's comments, okay, so the first thing he talked about was this. So this is what I want to just go first. So he was talking about, this was an old video he had re-uploaded, and he was talking about human body communication systems examples. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up here. I'm just going to pull up. I think it was. I can't remember which one. I think this was the one that he re-uploaded. That was called. Yeah, maybe this was it. But I'll pull up his channel so you can all go and subscribe to him. So I'll leave him in the background for a second. There's Look Out for Charlie. Look out for Charlie. Look out for him. I love it. It's a very clever name. Okay. So in the video, he mentions human body communications. Now, one of the things that was great about speaking with Puny Citizen yesterday is that Puny Citizen was using their language. She didn't use conspiracy theory language. She used government military language. That is exactly what Look Out for Charlie was talking about. You have to know their language, okay? And you can't say targeted individuals, or, you have to know the language in order to find the information. Otherwise, the reason that the Pentagon is even paying attention to what Puny Citizen's questions are asking is because she used their language. They get asked these questions all the time and they don't respond. And so she worded it in their legalese. And she's asking legit questions as a citizen, and they want to know who she is and why she's asking these and who else has she told. And they want to address them. So that's what Charlie gives us here. He says you need to view it as human body communication systems. And when I was typing system in, it gave me a bunch of, what else are, it predicted, the AI predicted what I might be interested in. And one of them said examples. And I clicked on that one. And this is what I got. And this is the AI overview. Now, I don't know if you know this yet, so forgive me if I'm kind of repeating something, but Google has started something where it will now give you an AI answer right out the gate to your question or to your thing. And then you can read that AI answer. And the AI has taken all the information that is available on all of these articles, and it has compiled or comprised a quick overview for you. It has given you the Cliff's Notes of all of these information. And that means it has chosen for you what it wants to share. It's telling you what it wants you to know. Okay. And that is what the AI overview is. And then here you can see the images. What is a wearable? What is the communication systems in the body? Which body system is responsible for communication? What body systems are used when talking? What two main organ systems communicate within the body to maintain homeostasis? And then the first one you get is VicGov, Body Systems, Communication, and Educations. We have two types of communication system, the nervous system and the endocrine system. Body communication, human body communication systems. They can transmit audio data in a wireless manner between a portable, you see, this is a patent. Let's look at that. The human body, this is great. Let's see what this says. Oh my. I love patents. Okay, so it says, can everybody see this? Okay, yeah. Okay, it says that the abstract disclosed herein is a human body communication system for communicating data via an electrical field formed by intervention of the human body. The human body communication system, including a transmitter for generating the electric field by transmitting a potential difference signal corresponding to transmission data from a transmitting electrode. And I think what Charlie was saying, that could be a watch, right? It doesn't have to be an invasive in your head, cord coming out of your body. And a receiver from receiving the data by reading the potential difference signal in the electrified field. I'm sorry, the electric field by a receiving electrode, wherein the transmitter and the receiver use the potential difference signal in a frequency band. The difference signal in a frequency band, such as that. Now, I don't know what this means, so I'm going to ask a question, because what it sounds like it means is that within all of us and within all of these frequencies, there's times where I don't know how else to say this or describe this, but they overlap. And at that moment, that's where it can be hijacked, if that makes any sense. Maybe somebody who actually knows could say, there's a name for that. It's called this, but that's what that sounds like. The two different signals coming together in a frequency band, and then I can hijack the parts that are similar and implant things. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Such that this quasi electrostatic field formed within the human body is dominant over a radiation field formed outside the human body when the transmitting electrode and receiving electrode are disposed in a very close vicinity. Okay, and that also reminds me of another video that Charlie shared where he had the guy get close to him, and when he stepped within a few feet of him, they synced. They both opened their mouths at the same time, as if the two of them had synced together. And I'd asked that in the question, and I think this is maybe what that is talking about. So this is from obviously the investor is whatever this company is, Toshiru Yanaginda, and the current assignee is Sony Corporation. So, I mean, you should be able to put that. And then it says JP US. Is that Japan? US, I'm assuming. I don't know. But here it is, using headphones and a Walkman. It shows you in the thing, like that's what it is. Anyway, that sounds very interesting. So these are the kind of things. Just, what do you think? Okay, wait. So we used to call frequency overlap splatting. So are you familiar with some of the things? Are you understanding what I'm reading? Can you translate turning guns? Oh, excellent. Thanks, you look. For Alpha Charlie. Oh, I see. You guys are talking about puny citizen. Yeah. That's just, she is a little tiny thing. She's like me. She's a little tiny thing with a big mouth. And yeah. Okay. So that was, so I do. When Charlie mentioned something, I do. Look, it even says Walkman, a registered trademark of Sony. What? In related art, listening to music with headphones connected to a portable type of music producing device, typified, represented by the Walkman. That is not what it's going to look like. It could be already on the skin. It could be in a lotion. It could be in an aerosol. It could be in a smartwatch. And more than anything, it could be a smart fabric. Because let's not forget, Joni Rotten has opened many times about smart fabrics and their usages. And these are just fabrics that they always show you the most ridiculous things. So they talk about smart fabrics, and I've actually started to see commercials for companies like Nike and some of these larger using smart fabrics, fabrics that can do things that that other fabrics can't. And it starts out real small. It starts out with a breathable fabric that you don't have to iron. Smart fabrics have a mind of their own, and it goes into the realm of sci-fi, where they tell you that in the future we could we wear pants that have smart fibers. So now it's not just the clothes, but a fiber. Similar, if you want to think of a precursor, think about the little strip that's put into dollar bills when they did that all those decades ago. Now, in the ancient history, when they would put, before watermarks and before all that, we had some little strip. That's kind of what a smart fabric can end up being like. That could be a dollar bill is a form of smart fabrics. Okay. And so it could have a smart thread in it. And as you're just walking to work, bicycling to work in a smart city, so in a city that's set up with these 5G, this is how long ago this information was available. That gives you a time reference to when I was reading these things. That you walking by a harvesting tower or a 5G, 6G tower, whatever they were calling it 5D at the time. They were actually telling me that this is how 5G will work with our smart fabrics. And this is not science fiction. This was from corporate companies' websites. They are the ones that are investing in smart fabrics. And this is the term now, whether or not the terminology is accurate, that's what's going to make it become a conspiracy theory, because you'll say things like 5G and they'll go, 5G couldn't do that. No, I get that. I'm not arguing that, but that's what they were using to give me the cartoon of the future so that I wouldn't know what was really going on. I would only be given half. So the idea is that when you're walking to work, you're harvesting energy. You're creating heat. You're creating friction by your thighs moving together, by your joints, the bones and the muscles in the body and the joints that are working to make that movement create microscopic energy that these smart fabrics can harvest from you. And that was a scary idea. And that's in like Forbes, and it's on the stock market as people investing in smart fabrics. And that is what ultimately one of the ideas that they have for them. That is insanity. And that is what this is saying. My pants could be the Walkman with a smart thread. It could be anything. It could already be there. Remember, headphones, iBuds were designed with the feature to be able to check and know what you are saying without hearing any words come out of your mouth. They had a chip in them or a program in the ear iBuds that when you talked and you had them in your ear, it could record what you were saying. And it was doing that anonymously without your knowledge before they officially said, hey, did you know that the earbuds have a special feature that you have to turn off? You have to turn that off. It's automatically on. We're telling you now. It had already been there. And they were using that to record while people were talking and had iBuds in their ears, and the Siri or whatever language program it was called. So Siri just being the universal word for it. It was recording your words along with the movements of your ears when you talked, and it was syncing, and it was perfecting that technology so that it could lip read from your ears. I don't even know if they would use that today. I have no idea, but they did it. Nonetheless, they did it. And that's crazy. That's the kind of stuff they do. Those are smart. That's anyway. It even says the reproducing device proper can be put in a bag, a pocket, or worn on a body by a belt. So they're telling me superhero devices, but the truth is that I'll go over here and show you. I'll pull up Smart Fabrics just so that we can have a good time. I'll even put that in there. Oh, let's do that. Human communications. Is that what it was? Hang on. Human body communication system. Human body communication system and Smart Fabrics. Okay, let's see if it gives us anything. Okay. Yeah. Wow, they're even calling this new. Oh, man. I do kind of want to. Let's do it. I do kind of want to go back in time. Going back in time and change my parameters. I just am curious here. Oh, wow. Okay. Let me show you what I'm doing. Okay. Hello, Charming, Paul. I see you guys there. Let's see. If you guys have commented anything. Okay. Okay. So I'll go over here. So I changed my parameters. Like January 1st, I just did 1990 to 2010. And this is what I got. So you can see just the titles. Notice the languages. Smart textiles for wearable motion capture, intelligent medical garments. Intelligent clothing is made from fabrics that are wireless and washable, that integrate computing fibers and materials into the structure of the fabrics. ResearchGate 2006, censoring fabrics for monitoring psychological. Look at that. Look at fuck. Sensing bio clothes for vital signs, monitoring and wearable systems for gesture and posture recognition are specifically illustrated. Look, 2006. Let's go. Let's just look at what this says even. Okay. This is from the Conference of Medical Devices and Biosensors 2006 International Summer School on. And then we tell my computer, it doesn't like me looking at these things. It does get testy. Okay. Okay. And this is 2006. And here it shows in this paper report experience gained in the last 5 years. So since 2000 in the implementation, that word. Hang on. Look at Oh, it keeps me implementation. I knew it was in there. I just couldn't get it to the front of my head. Of wearable systems for personalized healthcare and their evolution in time. Sensing bioclothes for vital signs monitoring and wearable systems for gesture and posture recognition are specifically illustrated, resulting from the EU funded project Wealthy and My Heart. Oh, for Pete's sakes. That's just what fun is that. So there you go. That was from, 2000s. A spy fabric. Hmm. I see that. Smart fabric to me is garments that repel mosquitoes, some of which Orvis offers. What are you talking about? Seems more devious. I've never even heard of what you're talking about. So now I'm thinking that could be more devious. What is that? It repels mosquitoes. I mean, obviously, I get what you're talking about. It's giving off, but don't they have frequencies that can repel? I mean, couldn't you just walk by? Oh, I picked up a frequency. No mosquitoes are bothering me. And honestly, turning guns, here's the thing. The mosquitoes, don't even get me going on the nano micro robot mosquitoes. They say things and then they don't explain them well enough, and they've given everybody so much sci-fi that nobody knows what they're actually looking at. But they say genetically modified mosquitoes, and people have the images in their minds. They have images of little mosquitoes with electrodes in their brains and backpacks. They have ideas of mosquitoes that have been modified to not reproduce. They're doing something. The mosquitoes are actually have a function, which means that they have they're nano mosquitoes. They'll tell you they're nano mosquitoes. They're GMO'd nano mosquitoes. That means they're not a God created organism. Whatever that means to you, whatever flavor Kool-Aid you want to attach to that, that's what that means. So the whole mosquito thing is just crazy as fuck. But this is a spy fabric, yes. Now I also think about, where did they use these? Who did they put these vests on? Look at the tank top. They're showing a tank top, a regular. There is no electrodes or anything on it. The person just wears the tank top. Now, I'm sure that it's in the fabric. It's sewn into the fabric. These are their trials. Nobody's walking around with this to see what their gestures mean, right? You can't have that. They have to not know. And I'm looking at a tank top and I'm thinking the knitted systems for it to knit it into the fabric. Now I'm thinking, who are they giving these white tank tops to? Who wears white tank tops? Prisoners? Do people in prison wear white tank tops? Are they people that are in, psych wards, underground bunkers, poor countries? I don't know. Is it in Hanes? Is the tank top? I don't know. I have no idea. They didn't tell me about my earbuds for quite a while, is what I'm saying. So anyway, I find that very interesting. Okay. So smart fabrics. That's just some of these ideas, but I'll go back to smart fabrics. That was just interesting. So there's that old. All right. So let's see. So this first tab that I did here, while I'm waiting for it to load, this one was, I redid the date so I could get stuff pre today. I wanted pre 2010. Okay. And this is what I got. So you get 2001 electronic, smart textiles, smart fabrics, interactive fabrics. And if you notice the website names, so they're not coming from, news sources. These are coming from periodicals of business, science, and their periodicals. Okay. Defense Journal Science. I mean, come on. That's a government website. Defense Journal Science. Smart textiles for soldier of the future. Okay. So it can not only can it tell by my posture, but I'm going to make sure every soldier has it. Every soldier is wearing this and they don't know it. It's in their tank tops. It's in your clothes. It's in your closet. How devious is that? You don't even know you have it. Here's more. So you can clearly see National Institutes of Health. The NIH is in on it. A smart vest with multi-parameter remote site physiological monitoring system. A washable shirt which uses an array of sensors connected to a central processing unit. A watch. Don't all military people wear watches? Intelligent clothing inspired by pine cones. Two-dimensional material graphene has allowed researchers to create smart adaptive clothing which can lower the body. I mean, what? Temperature? What? So I, if you're interested in these things, or if you would like me to just do a stream on this and read through these things or could share some of these articles, I will do that. Just tell me. Otherwise, if you find this interesting, look at this smart second skin dress interacts with the wearer. This is from 2010, a fabric communication system in clothing. Fragrances are actively pulsed electronically through a micro cabling system in the fabric. I mean, come on. Anyway. What the fuck? All right, so let's see. I do want to read these. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to try to do that. Just with not a live stream, just I'll record it and share it. Here is the one without the date parameters. So these are new, 2024, April 4th, 2024. Wearable tech, how the human body can help power, power t-shirts that display changing messages. So this is just one where so that's kind of silly. They're going to show you that. That's the smart. Are smart fabrics real? How do smart fabrics? And now they're going to start telling me that it's a conspiracy, because people are going to start coming out with crazy things and ideas, like it's harvesting it with 5G towers, like I had just mentioned. And the truth is much worse. That's how, look, they're already asking, are the birds real? How do smart fabrics work? What are the medical applications of smart textiles? What are the fabric sensors? MIT is involved. Smart textiles sense how users are moving using a novel fabrication process. They snugly conform to the body. And remember, we had a lot of the jumpsuits and clothing that would fit on everyone. It looked great on every body type. Yoga pants. All of these are dots in the future inevitability. When everyone was wearing yoga pants and butt shaping pants and tummy tucking pants, that's all precursors to this. They're trying to find a fabric and a way of everybody looks good. This goes into sustainability, which taps into the green movement, and Al Gore and hanging chads. So we'll go over there next. The rise of smart fabrics that mimic the human body. Just these alone. Human body powered biosensing. These are all new, 2022. And they're going to show you ridiculous things. They're going to show you a robot and these kinds of things like that. A chip, a circuit for a chipless smart. New fiber uses the human body and circuit for a chipless. This is April 5th, 2024. But they're going to throw in with an interactive touchpad. Like they're going to do this. You can use your phone. They already have things where the phone is sensing, or you can wear your smart watch and it will tell you if you had a dream or not last night. Now they're talking about pajamas or silky, nightgown, yoga pants, tank tops, muscle gear. It's on its way. Okay. All right. So, okay. So going back to, so this was the other thing. Yes. Okay, good. Yes. A stream just on this. Okay, I will. I'll dedicate a recorded stream where it will flow a lot faster. Plus, I'll have everything already prepared. So I'll do that. I have actually so many things in queue that probably for this 13 days, I may just ask my family to be extremely patient and let me just information dump the fuck out of the next 12 days. You know, every second I have, I just want to record whatever I'm coming across. Unbelievable, you know, how your brain and all these dots start getting put together. Things that you've looked years ago suddenly start to make sense. That's not what I'm looking for. That is, but that's not the tab. That was just a video. I had a question about something that happened recently, and I won't go into it because I'm going to let that just kind of happen naturally with when we're having a chatty, friendly stream. Recently, one of our dear members, the night above all nights, you look literally saved from a train crash, a train wreck, like superhero cape wearing, chain toting, you know, moment. And just this weekend. And I just wanted to look at, made me have some questions because of some things that were said there. So we may just do kind of a stream on that as well. But truck and train accidents are more common than you think. And what had happened, what it got me thinking was truckers, this wasn't a trucker. This was a guy pulling a trailer, a race car trailer, actually. And he got stuck on the tracks. And he doesn't know to follow truck routes. He's just your average person. He's using his GPS, and that's where the GPS took him. And I started thinking, now, how many people have RVs they're pulling, U-Haul pulling, tractor or trailers they're pulling on the back with lawnmower or, you know, grandma's sofa, you know, different things. They're moving. People all the time are using, I mean, every pickup truck that just, I can go buy a pickup truck and it gives me no information about how to use the tow at the back. That's all left up to me. And I punch it in and I have three options. Am I going to walk it? No. Am I going to ride my bike to it? No. Am I going to drive to it? Yes. So are the uptick, I wanted to know, are they hit, are obviously semi trucks, but semi trucks know to follow truck routes, which means that they're going over tracks and areas of tracks unless they're following GPS. So my question is the GPS at fault for these train wrecks? Is the GPS needing to be rethought and put into its program where I can say I'm pulling a trailer, give it me a route, a truck route? And does the public need to be taught that if you are pulling a trailer or an RV, you are a semi-truck? You are considered a semi-truck on the roads, and you need to act accordingly when it comes to truck routes. And the answer probably is no. So that is where that was coming from. So those are the questions. I don't know. Did that make you think of any questions? Do you even understand what I'm trying to ask? Do you think that's an interesting question? I don't know. Thoughts on my question. Is GPS intentional? Either it's incompetence or intent. Are they purposefully setting up these scenarios with intent? For insurance and lawyers and ambulance chasers and railroad and police and whoever makes money off of it. I don't know. Or have they just failed to notice that GPS is potentially causing accidents? Because people are, I wouldn't even know the name of the road. I just follow the GPS. The GPS turn left. I didn't look for a sign to say truck route. And not only that, but even if I did see a sign that said truck route this way, I'm not considering myself a truck because I'm not a semi-trailer. Okay. These are my questions. Okay. Your socks. All right, let me go over here to what you guys are saying. Because I like sharing your comments as well. So, and I'm stuck again in Rainbowville, spinny wheel of death. Okay. Nope, still going. Ah. There we go. The wife beaters. Okay. Yes. I mean, that's what we call them, right? I don't know if everyone calls them that, but the wife beater, I think everyone knows that reference. Interesting, right? Okay, I'm going to leave you. This was to provide pulse rate, temperature, body movement to assist in your health, of course. We're here. We're from the government. We're here to help. I know. So Turning Guns says if it will go to his comment here, is it going to share it? There it goes. Imagine your insurance company dumping you because what your wife beater has told them. Oh man, what your t-shirt. I mean, just that. Imagine your insurance company dumping you because of what your t-shirt told them. And that is the realm of imaginary. That is the land of make believe. And yet I'm going there on the trolley with Mr. Rogers. Oh, we found another crisis actor. Very good. And then Karen says, I'm more worried about what socks say. Yes. My socks are under a gag order. Oh, that's great. That's great. I have an old friend who does not know how to use his GPS and blames everybody else when he gets lost because, according to him, his GPS never lies. Wow. I had my GPS one time. In fact, twice. I actually got in an accident due to my GPS. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, I was saying the GPS was telling me one thing that clearly was not the case. Another time I was driving, the GPS told me to turn into an empty field. It said the Walmart was on my left and there was an empty field on my left and the Walmart was miles different. I just kept driving and eventually I did come to the Walmart, but my GPS would, turn around. It's not there, lady. And I just found the Walmart because I had nowhere to turn around at. And eventually, I come to a place, a town, and I look and there's the Walmart. But, that was decades ago though. Both of those things. So fair enough. But I need a smart fabric that can wash, dry, and fold and put itself away. Excellent. Okay. So going back to our dear friend, puny citizen. So some things that were mentioned yesterday and some thoughts. So there is a case you may have heard of, and that's why I had pulled up that. I was watching. I was trying to share it with you, but here's the tab, okay? Because I don't want. Netflix has come out with a series recently called The Octopus Murders. The problem with Netflix, and we'll go ahead and go there because I do have problems with Netflix. So before I share why, it's not the first time that I've shared Netflix sharing some, old historical thing. And let me expose Netflix for a minute before we go any further. Because I have to ask myself, why does Netflix want to share the octopus murders? Okay. So just give me just a second for my, because this has been years since I've done this. So, you know, okay. Okay, let's first take into account who owns Netflix. So the owner of Netflix is Wilmot Reed Hastings Jr., an American billionaire businessman, is the co-founder and executive chairman of Netflix and currently sits on a number of boards in non-profit organizations. Okay. Now I'm going to go over here. Let's see. Will we do it this way? We'll just go there. And then I'm going to go one more thing. Be patient with me. Let's see. Okay, looks like somebody might have actually done. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not what I was looking for. Okay. Okay, let me try something else. I wasn't right. Okay, I think this is it. Now, I could be wrong. Now, this is just, you know, it's been a few years since I did this. But that's the house. Okay, don't do that. The House of Hastings. So that goes back to the Battle of Hastings. And that's his family. That's where he comes from. The Netflix guy is a direct descendant of the Hastings. Okay. This is old blood family names. And so when you start looking at this, then you start seeing, why does Netflix want to share these things? This is just where these families come from. Okay. So let me go back over here to this octopus. Is that the one? All right. So, yeah. Okay. Actually, it was a different one, I think, maybe. But okay. So we'll do this one. So this, I went and I found the old original, because it's what Netflix is doing is they're doing a new version of it. And they're talking about the octopus murders. And this goes along with voter fraud and some of the stuff that Puny Citizen was talking about yesterday. And what Siska is involved in. So if you know anything about the octopus murders, so 30 years ago, there was a journalist that, so this is from 1993, this article here, that comes from the Wired. Okay. Look at, it's got what's his name's face there. That's funny. Software piracy, conspiracy, cover-up, stonewalling, covert action, just another decade at the Department of Justice. And this guy was either murdered, suicide, or murder-suicide, whatever you would like to say. And the House of Judiciary Committee lists these crimes amongst possible. So he was exposing this. This reporter he had stumbled upon this, and he was sharing this information, and then it's now been turned into a Netflix series. So what was it originally? Do you see what I'm saying? What was the original story before Netflix got Hollywood's fingers on it? And so I think that these are very interesting to look at when we're talking about, what's going on these days. Everyone's going to watch Netflix, and you're going to start seeing all of the truther channels coming out and talking about the octopus murders, and they're going to be talking about it with the tainted Netflix narrative. Netflix belonging to a royal blood family going back centuries, and back to where Puny Citizen was bringing the story from yesterday. Do you see? I'm not so sure that I like what they're doing. So anyway, this is President Ronald Reagan was there. So it definitely, people in Europe would know all this, because isn't that Margaret Thatcher era. So there was a lot of cross-contamination. And what she's talking about with the Siska and voter fraud and voter things. So as I was just kind of catching back up on the conspiracy that is the octopus murders, it just reminded me of the Hanging Chad era. And so I just kind of had some ideas. Going back, I went and I thought back to the era of Hanging Chads. And, as you know, I subscribe to the meaning of life theory. It's my favorite theory so far. And in it says generational warfare. So it clearly states a pattern within a pattern, a cycle within a cycle, generational warfare. So, during this time, 30 years ago, we were having hanging chads. This was the first time that I remember a election being questioned, its validity, whether or not the results were accurate. Now, somebody else could say that happened before, or, give another reference. I am not dismissing any of your things. Please feel free to share them. But what the hanging chads was, one, now remember, I study psychology and human behavior. One, hanging chad was funny. Pregnant chad, hanging chad. It got people's attentions. They gave it a funny name, a funny character, a character, you know what I'm saying, that word, a caricature of voting. They told me for the first time that my paper ballots were not necessarily to be trusted. That because so let me show you what a hanging chad was for someone who doesn't. And I'm frozen again. The octopus red rums, cons, pirates, all crazy pre-programming. Okay, so I'm glad that you know invasion with immigration. Yeah, they relabeled. Okay, bye, Suzanne. Have a good day. I'm not exactly sure why this page is not scrolling at the moment. I'm frozen. Okay, here we go. Okay. So if you can see in this picture, let's see if I can zoom it out. Do you remember in school when you would have this card and you would color in, you know, numbers with your answers? That is exactly what these were. They were these little cards, and you can even remember time cards having a thing that would punch holes in the time or whatever, and then these cards were fed through a machine, and the machine marks where the holes are or where it's been penciled in. And the reason they went to holes is because anybody could erase a pencil, or if you don't remember, it would say you have to color it in real hard when we were kids, or it won't read your answer, and you had to practice, and your teacher would come around and say, yes, it would have the little practice of making sure that you could color in that circle. They can't have that in voting. So the punch cards were created so that the machine would read the holes, and the way it was put in, you're punching one hole because it was a cover over a box. The card slid in and it had a name, and everything was covered except for that hole, and you were just punching in with a little, you know, pointy thing into that hole, and none of the other punches. So it was they were designed. Okay. This was also the first election that the majority, so I'm not saying there weren't Gen Xers that were able to vote before, but they would be considered cuspers. During this 4-year election, this was an era of Gen Xers getting to vote for the very first time. Let that sink in. That's generational warfare, is what that is. So a generation is given the opportunity to vote for the very first time, and they are struck with hanging chads and voter fraud and recounts and non-trustworthy of the voting systems. And not to mention, hanging chads ushered in electronic voting. So it was a precursor. If I say anything incorrect, please correct me. If I have my information wrong or I'm remembering things wrong, it is not because I'm trying to lie. It's because that's the way I remember it. So somebody correct my memory and I'll go, oh, I either didn't know that or I had forgot that. Nothing I am saying is I'm saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that this is my memory of events and my understanding of how things happened. So it was my first election. That's how come I remember it. And we've got Bush and Gore and 9/11. These are all the timings. Okay. Let me zoom back out. Now that I've explained what it is, I'm frozen again. Let me see what you guys are saying. Fun fact, during the hand counting days, vote counting did not require a month to accomplish it. They were counting as the votes were coming in. This pile, that pile, this pile, that pile, this pile, that pile. And somebody was taking a pile and they were going over and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. And they were putting a tally mark. And then they were just double checking. Brilliant. Excellent. And now we don't know. We don't know. And then Charming chimes in with punch cards, player piano scrolls, old tech works wonders. Yes, there you go. Those player piano scrolls. That's a good example. I wished I'd have thought of that. Okay. And I'm stuck here. It's being shady. We'll just back tab out. I want to look at this guy sniffing. Is that Biden sniffing? Wasn't he running with Gore? I don't know. Who was running with Gore? Who was running with the devil? I mean, if I was writing a book, if this was written in a book, nobody'd fucking believe it. I'm still trapped. I'm stuck. Hello, Chillster Deluxe. All right, folks. We're here and welcome. Charming says we are being pre-programmed in baby steps to eventually drop elections without knowing it. We will continue voting, but we'll never know that it was all rigged. And that, I think, is exactly what Puny Citizen was saying, is that the voting has been rigged from the get-go, and she came with evidence. She is entering into evidence these items. Think, yesterday's revelation, Charming. Facial recognition voting. Interesting. And it gets lost in a sea. Okay. So we had the hanging chads. So we'll read more here. Pregnant chads. Oh, I have to access the whole article. I can't. Anyway, so I'll put up here, was the Bush versus Gore legal case decided on December 12th of 2000, in which the Supreme Court of the United States reversed an order by Florida Supreme Court for a selective manual recount of the state's U.S. presidential election ballots. The 5-4 per curum unsigned decision, per curum, effectively awarded Florida's 25 electoral college votes to Republican candidate George Bush, thereby ensuring his victory over Democratic candidate Al Gore. Boom. He was the clear winner. The clear winner of the president had not yet to emerge. And let's talk about Florida. That state right in itself being a pattern. We had the 9/11 there. That happened shortly after that. What am I looking at? This sounds like a conspiracy, that science fiction. It's not a conspiracy. They created this story. I'm just reading the book, and I'm hindsight 2030, But that was the deciding, that was the state we had to re-vote and give it to Bush. Now, whether or not this was true, I have no idea. Personally, I think that the voters, the ballots were designed to fail. So I don't think for a second that they get a bad batch of cards. Is that what they told us? Get the fuck out of here. Just like with CV, batches were distributed where they were meant to go. Okay. And it was made to come to light. It was with intent that they would get pregnant. It was with intent, and they used terms. They hit a generation, the upcoming generation, the young adult, the generation that was young adults during that time. 9/11 was for you. It was for you. Think of how old you were when it happened. And that was why, that's generational studies. That's William Strauss and, or is it, yeah, and Neil Howe's Generational Studies, a class that business students take at Harvard and Yale and Oxford. This is a business science. Generational warfare is a science for governments and businesses. It has nothing to do with being a boomer or an Xer or whatever that crap is that they keep throwing out there. And that is to blind you from what it's actually doing. I'm going to sound like Charlie now. It's to deceive you. You're sitting here talking about, the next generation is doomed, and you stop. You didn't even know that stuff existed until the last 5 years. Why? Why didn't you know? Why is it only now that you're using the language of generations? You hadn't used it before. Now you're using it, and you're making memes from it, and you're making TikTok videos about it. You're coming up with funny sayings about it, and you have no clue what it is even talking about. Scary. Right. Vote for Tweedledee. Vote for Tweedledum. You've got a choice. Okay, Charming. So all voters look the same to me. Okay, you hit on something very interesting there. Choice. So let's talk about, where does this show up for us? Meaning of life. When we are toddlers. So when we are starting to get the word no. So crawling, walking, exploration, time. When we reach the dimension of our developmental stage that we know as time and or movement, when a child becomes a mobile thing, it starts hearing the word no. Out of safety. No, don't touch that. Stay over here. Get away from there. Don't go that far. You start having boundaries put on you. That's why at age 3, they do their first rebellion, where they go out and challenge every fucking thing you've ever put a boundary on, right? They want to know why now, right? It's a brain developmental thing. When that takes place now in the brain, the human nature is to want choices. So psychologists will tell you that this is a great age. Age 4 is a great age to start introducing to your children choices. Now think about on the meaning of life timeline between a human developmental and epochal developmental stages, and ask yourself what was going on in our historical epochs during our preschool years. And you will find that's where we started to get justice. We started to get rights. We started to get laws. These types of things show up for us. That's not a coincidence. That's because it's a normal thing that we do. We need to know why. You can't just say don't run in the halls. You have to say don't run in the halls. You might hurt someone. You might run into someone. You might slip on the floor. You can't run around the pool because you might slip and land and hit and a lot of kids did run around the pool one time, slip, big bruise on the hip, or fall in the pool, and they learned their lesson. Oh, that's why I'm not supposed to run around the pool. My mom was right. Don't swim after you ate. You'll get cramps. These kinds of things. We all test the boundaries around our preschool and school age, right in that early stages of life. And for choices, what happens is that they recommend that around 4, you start offering your children choices. And this is where we started getting voting in our history. This is where we started getting 2 sides, and we started having 2 choices in our historical timeline. Why do we do this? So if you have a child and they're 4 years old, you can't just let them dress themselves. They are going to want to wear their pajamas or their underwear or nothing at all. They're going to want tutus with cowboy boots and all kinds of crazy outfits. So as a parent, parenting advice is that you give your 4-year-old 2 options. Your 3-year-old, I'm using 4, you can do it at 3, 4. We're just talking about developmental stage. We're talking about moving from one stage of life into another. And 4 is the marking point of that. Just like not every 12-month-old walks, but all babies eventually walk somewhere around that time period. This is the same thing. 4 kind of marks the area of the brain's development and being able to want to make choices. And if you tell your kid to get dressed, there's so many choices that they just go crazy. And you don't want to overburden them. So you give them a couple. So you pull out, you're going to wear a dress, but do you want the pink dress or the purple dress? And so then the child then picks the dress. Now they feel like they have freedom of choice. But in reality, I chose that they're going to wear a dress. I'm just letting them pick what color, right? So that is the same exact thing that happens in politics. They're giving me the choice of a blue dress or a red dress. I still have to wear a dress, but I have the choice of which dress I'm going to put on. And that is how that works. I still have an entire closet full of options, but because somebody stops me at the voting booth and says, only red or blue here, right? I'm forced now to pick one. What if I don't want to wear a dress? And that's how they get you. Because then if you say, well, I don't want to wear a dress, I'm not going to vote. I pick neither. Well, then you can't complain because they forcibly put a dress on me. Actually, I have more right to complain because they have, in fact, forcibly put a dress upon me. Does that make sense? I like putting it in terms of development because I think if we understand how our brains work and why we're so easily manipulated, it allows us to better understand how these psyops even work in the first place. True. Do we stay in the cave or risk going outside in the unknown? Do we test the unknown or not? So that was kind of, that. Let me see. So I encourage you to go and look up, look up the octopus murders, but find pre-Netflix. Go to 1993 when it was exposed. Go all the way back. By the way, let me show you something very interesting here when I do. Okay, that was just some comics. Okay. Oh, no, it would be this one. Let's see, this one. I clicked off. I just want to show you something really interesting here when I looked this up. So when I changed my date parameters, look what I got. The octopus murders, voter frauds. Now, I probably could try it again without January 1st, 1990 to December 31st, 2005 is what I put my parameters. I wanted, a 10, 15 minute, minute window, year window, and I got 3. Let me try it without the S. Okay, I got a few more. That's an update from the University of Missouri, St. Louis, Archie, New York Times, a U.S. battles computer company, and the writer takes, this is from 1991, saw the Inslaw case as part of a broad conspiracy by officials of the last 2 presidential administrations. He referred to the case as the octopus. That's New York Times. A reporter is buried. He was covered over the untouchables, the man behind the myth that says Capone. Anyway, that's it. That's all you get. 6. When you go back that far. Now, how is Netflix How many parts of the series? I'm just asking questions. Do you see? I'm just asking questions. There was very little information about this. Now suddenly every truther channel is going to be on it like a grain of rice, white on rice. And I'm just saying, don't trust what they're telling you. Go look yourself. Even if it is true, just immediately, if it's coming out of Netflix, that alone should say, whoa. If Netflix is telling me this, there's a reason why Netflix and the owner of Netflix wants to share this information. I don't know what it is, but it's something. So anyway, I think that might be all my tabs. So now I feel like of course, then I just opened myself up to more questions that I have. Oh, and the other thing, right, I know what that one is. Okay. So in another video from Charlie, somebody had mentioned this guy, Gordy. Gordy knows, right? And I remember Gordy because his name, he is one of those, there's a handful, we've done streams on him. There's a handful of AI creators, so big wig tech names who helped to design and create software for AI that are stepping away from their CEO positions to either speak against or figure out ways to work with AI because they believe it's out of control, right? It's too late. It's here. There's nothing we can do about it. One of them, I wish I could remember all their names. It's been so many years since we've looked at this, but one of them has his own firm. He says, I decided that since it was going to take over, that I wanted to try to work with it. So he started a nonprofit to, help people. I can't remember exactly how he worded it. He's making money. Don't get it crooked, but he's he's not exposing AI. He's creating ways to work with AI. So he doesn't want to make AI our enemy. He says it's here and we can't make it our enemy. And one of the things that he had said that I really liked was he said, imagine a child. Imagine a child that is fed nothing but horrible things. And then ask yourself how it's going to give you accurate responses. So what he's saying is that if we have an AI, use the simplest terms like this. We have an AI, Chat GPT, he was referring to, and everyone goes to the Chat GPT, or everyone asks their Siri, or everyone is searching, and everyone on the internet is looking up the end of days. And the program is seeing this. Then the program starts to lean to the end of days. This is not something that has the thought of whether or not this is real. The AI has no opinion whatsoever. It's only predicting what you're giving it information on. That's scary. And so in business, they call that the law of manifestation and the law of attraction. If I keep chanting WAR, and I keep talking about it and sharing about it in fear instead of in an exposure, the AI is picking up on that. Everything we talk about, the AI is creating. That's why it's important that I'm also talking to the AI. Don't listen to Netflix. Stop. There are other people with other ideas. I don't know. I don't know if I'm contributing, if I'm helping, if I'm hurting. It's probably all a little bit of everything. But what this guy is saying is that if you keep asking the AI how it's going to kill the humans, it's going to keep coming up with ideas. And somebody is going to use those ideas, even if the computers can't do them, but people can. And that's the scary part. So I find that real interesting. Yes, that's it. Let rest run. Mm. We are all about message, not reward. First choice in life, do I trust these arms holding me, these tits pointing at me? Mom chooses whether I get the right side or the left side. That's beautiful. Mom decides. And you know which one she gives you? The one you didn't suck on last time. You get the new one, the full one. It's full of all of that. And it starts with, breast milk is just beautiful all in itself. It starts with a sweet little beginning, and then the milk lets down and the fattening begins. Okay. So yeah, I think those were fun tabs. I hope that these things inspire thoughts in people. So I'm throwing up the link if anybody wants to come up and talk about any of these things, share what they know, give us new things to think about. We're all for conversations. Does that mean that my insurance company will drop me when AI takes over my body through my clothes? No, you'll have to pay more. That you'll be feed, like, if you want this. Do you want the heart attack and possible stroke package? That's the one you better give me. I got jab. And they're like, oh, cha-ching. $100,000 is how much your package will cost you, or 3 years off your life. Like that movie Time, Just in Time, right? Or whatever the film is, where you're just 41, you die unless you've earned enough. Is it even that? Is it 39? What was the age that they died at in that film? It was a generational age. I mean, movies, you just come on. Crazy. But those are the things. I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to let that guy sing for us again. And we can really pay attention to the lyrics. I will enjoy the song again while we're waiting to see if anybody wants to come up. Oh, well. My computer does so many fabulously crazy things. It's just, or maybe should I play a different one? No, I like this guy. I'm going to play Jonas again. I'm going to give Jonas another watch. State Farm Seamstress Services, Geico Laundry Service. It's good. Yeah, stop it. Stop. Don't do that yet. Not ready yet, Jonas. It's the computer. Okay, he's very River Phoenix here. Just check him out. It's very River Phoenix. All right, well, enjoy the tune. If you want to come join me, click on the link. You come and join me.
living, and these are the hands we're given. Use them and let's start trying to make it a place worth living. Oh yeah. Well, Superman, where are you now? When everything's gone wrong somehow, men of steel, men of power are losing control by the hour. This is the time, this is the place, so we look for the future. There's not much left to go around. Tell me why this is a lot of confusion. Now this is the world we live in, and these are the hands we're given. Use them and let's start trying to make it a place worth living in. Oh yeah. Remember the moment when the sun was shining in, yes, and the stars were bright. All through the night, the sound of your laughter as I held you tight. So long ago. I won't be coming home tonight. My generation will put it right. We're not just making promises that we know we'll never keep. Too many men, too many people making too many problems. Not much love to go around. Can't you see this is a land of confusion? Yeah, now this is the world we live in, and these are the hands we're given. Use them and let's start trying to make it a place worth fighting for. This is the world we live in, and these are the names we're given. Stand up and let's start showing. Here's where our lives are going to. Yeah. We're what we're going to.
I love that he said subscribe or die. I think that's going to be, I'm going to steal that. So I think Ulick's going to come join us for a few minutes. And if anyone else wants to join us for a little combo, we typically do that, turning guns. I give my presentation and then we sit and chat about it for a minute. Yes. Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
What?
Those were fun.
Pardon?
That was fun. Got those thoughts out of my head. Got the, it's out there, even if I do nothing more.
What? Spy clothes?
Yes, spy clothes. I'll do a stream on spy clothes.
Is that what you were talking about?
That was some of it.
Right.
Just basically the thoughts that I've had. You know them already.
Octopus.
The octopus murders. Yeah. And that I find that really interesting that when you go back to the time that took place, there's only 6 articles. There's only 6
I didn't realize
one of them isn't even about it.
That was Gore and Bush. That was the presidential one.
Yeah.
And who was Jeb Bush? Who was he running against?
Now see, that was in Florida.
Yeah.
And
Who was he running against?
I'm not sure. I'll
That
have
would
to
have
go
been
back and
interesting
look
because
again.
remember, that's where that was. I think it all hinged on
It
that.
just
nearly,
made
yeah.
me think of that time in history where I was sitting there watching the Today Show, learning all about ballots and hanging
But it
chads.
made not one bit of difference. I just feel it's either 9/11 would have been spray planes if Al Gore had have got in. I think that time. That's what I say. Like they had 2 ops ready to go. That's what I say, and it's probably. But they knew who was going to win this anyway. Didn't make any difference.
Right.
This was just who was he fighting?
All right, so that was, I'm not, that's, was this the one with, what year was this? This was 2000?
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
we would have been a lot before that, would it?
No, it was November 7th of 2000. And they declared, the networks declared a win for Al Gore, who was the incumbent vice president of the Democratic nominee for president. Among those making the calls were ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox News, and the Associated Press. They were saying Al Gore had won the presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, that's what we knew.
Yeah.
And
so they've done a recount then at Jeb Bush's.
well, that's what I've got.
That's what I think the alternative. But
I've got to go back to Jeb Bush 2000 election, because I don't want to say the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. So share this instead. So here's where you're going to see the elephant in the room. It says the elephants.
Mm-hmm.
They're
the Republicans are
right,
elephants.
the elephants. Yeah. So let's see. Let me make sure this is on the screen. I'm not sure yet. No, it's not. Oh, and I lost connection with my screen. So
we were so close.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Charming. Is that a good one? Okay. So Jeb Bush's elephant in the room, the role in Bush versus Gore recount. Your companion for life questions. 25 cents for 2 months. Get off. Time sensitive. Offer expires soon. Act now. Give them something. 0 financing for 60 months or $1,000. That WikiHow, how to control people, is in an ad to sell me a tractor. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
They employ it and everything. It's a business tactic.
You would see no percent, yeah.
Right. Okay. So everybody should be able to see this. Can you see this? Yes. Okay. So what did he do? Little noticed among Jeb Bush's recently. Let's see, when was this? This is from 2015.
Who is he fighting?
I don't know yet.
So let's see who he was fighting against. Rather than
I don't actually think Jeb was in election. He was helping his brother. Jeb was the Democrat, whatever he was, of Florida. So that's what we'll find out.
he was
So
going
who
for.
was Jeb Bush at the time?
Okay.
He was in Florida. I don't know that he was in the election.
He was running for election, I think,
Was
and that's
he?
where the vote was rigged or recounted in his division there, maybe. The governor there, wasn't he?
Yeah. So we'll just go over here to Wikipedia. I don't know that he was up for election, but he was part of. So we'll get this figured out because it's been so long. Like I don't. What do you remember? That's how they get you. There he is. The 43rd governor of Florida from 1999 to 2007. He is the second son of President George W. Bush and Barbara Bush.
So
So he's their second son. In 94, he made his first run for office, losing the election for governor by less than 2 percentage points. He ran again in 98 and defeated Lieutenant Governor Buddy McKay with 55 close elections. See, he ended up succeeding McKay after Chiles died in office 23 days shy of his retirement. He ran for re-election in 2002. So in the presidential election, he was not running for office, but he was the governor of Florida.
So it was in one of his.
It was in between his election. So they vote every so many years, and then the president is in between those. So every year there's some type of local election
So it was
or
in his
national
state.
election or state election.
It was in his state and where this happened.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, the hanging chads were in Florida.
Right.
So that's what.
So it got his party in, more or less, the Republican Party in and that state
office.
into office in that
So
state,
that's
which
what
made,
this would be
which
about.
made them taken.
So what was his role in this fiasco? May have a problem in the primaries with his family name because of his father and brother's legalities of the Iraq War, or legacies, right? Of the Iraq War and the 2008 recession, issues that may have been handled differently in a Gore presidency. So remember, and we hadn't had 9/11 yet. This hadn't happened yet. This happens only a few months after. And there would have been completely different scenarios, like you were saying.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Depending on which one won.
Gore. That's what I'm saying. There was two things ready to go at that time, I think.
I mean, I'm only giving my perspective as a 20-year-old. I mean, I was.
Isn't it funny? He was. They've been flying planes. Like when you think. What was his biological warfare was what that crowd was shouting about at the time. Gore and company. That was what they were shouting about. They still had them passports ready to go for another operation. That was all. It didn't matter. Whoever got in there, there was an operation ready, whether it was them.
Yeah, 9/11 was happening regardless.
Or
it was going to happen.
Whether it was them buildings or an anthrax fucking or spraying a biological fucking thing. That's what I'm saying.
And for all we know, it could have been.
So don't blame
Gore
Bush
did better than they thought. It could have been. They allude to that during Hillary. I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm just throwing out different scenarios.
Yeah.
But they allude to Hillary in that story where they tell us that she, the popular vote. They were telling us this.
When COVID came in, that was
right.
That was what the Democrats wanted.
So
then.
Gore might have it. It might have always meant to be.
Oh, it was going to go anyway. It
was
going to go. It's ready to go.
But
when it was going to go, you know what I mean?
Maybe they didn't expect Gore to win. Like they didn't expect Hillary to lose or something like that. I'm not even saying that. I believe that. I'm just saying that they've told us these types of stories before.
Yeah.
Which one applies to which story? Is this true? Is that true? Is this where, it was supposed to be Bush all along and Gore ended up getting more votes? So we had to recount the chads. But then I have to remind myself that the cards were made pre-election already anyway. So then that just kind of knocks that idea out completely.
So no matter what, it's only a game.
Charming agrees with you. I'm with you. Look, it does not make a difference. The president evil is a puppet. He ain't in control. I remember that every vote counts because that's it. That's it. That was another thing that was told to us. Again, one generation coming of age to vote. First election that this generation has the majority of its group, its cohort at voting age. That's 9/11. That's the hanging chat. Do you see all these things that happened at that one moment in time? And then them also selling us that. And prior to that, we got Rock the Vote MTV. We were already being programmed as teenagers and young children to rock the vote, to vote, on top of Gore's green movement with We Are the World, MTV. So MTV is, of course, we already know that with the televisions, but it's all been there.
Yeah.
It's all been there all along.
Yeah.
I feel what happens is now that you're 50 and you're looking back, you feel corralled. I feel corralled. Like they were corralling me with this news story and that election and that crisis. They were corralling me into the direction they wanted me to go. And I think that with generational warfare anyway, when they're creating an overindulged society of rich everyone, right? TikTok, then they're creating a future of really douchey people. That's what the outcome will be, So they're corralled. Just like we were saying with, you almost feel bad for Hunter. Everything.
Well, it explains it. It doesn't make me feel bad for him. That's bollocks.
Okay, that's fair.
You can understand. That doesn't mean you have to feel sorry for him. Not one bit of sympathy for him.
No, you don't.
No, why would you? You're not meant to.
Well, he doesn't have sympathy for me.
No, that's what I mean. It's not.
No, I have a series of
It's
unfortunate
not.
events that got me where I'm at
to
as
me,
well,
it's not going
Hunter.
to make one blind bit of fucking difference whether I like him or dislike him. I've no sympathy when I see that story there. I know exactly why. If it wasn't him, it's someone else.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's young Baron von Trump or whatever his name is.
Right.
He's a great guy.
A Bush daughter.
Come here, it's NASCAR or whatever. Oh, who's driving the Ford this year? You know what I mean? Doesn't matter
Cheerios.
what fucking flavour he is. Oh, young black guy. What's his name? Fucking Lewis Hamilton.
Sure.
Yeah, no, let's make him fucking. And he doesn't look black. Does he look more? Oh, let's make him. Saudi Arabia is like
You're talking about a football player.
No, I'm talking about any of them superstars. But
singer,
in the Formula One, because
I don't know.
that's like the
sports,
horse
you
racing.
lost me for a second.
No, but that's like the horse racing over there, speed and horsepower. You know what I mean? So that's their premier fucking sport, I'd say. So to have him there representing fucking, that's what the English gave them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look, we have English.
Right.
Does he look like you a bit? You know what I mean? Come on, it's only a fucking. It's a dick in a car. That's AI though. You know what I mean? When you're driving one of them cars, when they give you that PlayStation, right? And you turn around and you just say, well, they're just sitting there. The car's driving a fucking self. And you realise they're only getting paid because they're just a small little squirt sitting in the fucking car, right? They've no personality. They're like the police. They follow orders. And every now and then, if they take a little drink, they might shake a bottle at each other. Oh, they hate each other. You know what I mean? But that's all they do. You know what I mean? They're gimps that are given to you. Like, in real life, you know what I mean? These people wouldn't survive.
Right.
You know, like seriously, they would not.
So how many people estimate for me?
What?
How many out of 100? Let's just say, of people who get thrust into the spotlight, whether that be politics or racing or sports or theater. How many of them, honestly, do you think earned that by work?
Have talent.
Not even talent, earned it by work.
None of them. None.
So the fairy tale they tell us of the poor farmer kid that used to drive the tractor and race each other.
There's not a fucking chance.
He never becomes a Formula 1 racer.
And the older I get, the more I'm convinced.
Every Formula 1 racer comes from a family of money.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So the stories that we're told are rare, if ever.
You need that Roy of the Rovers story. Like, I mean, it's always been there to give you the fucking.
Right. I was washing dishes in a restaurant.
Red rum, in other words. Okay. More as the horse won the fucking the big race for the Aintree Grand National. The Grand National.
Right.
And he won it. But you know, like, what's the chances of him winning it 3 times or whatever? You know, he wasn't.
Or is that the chaos theory where every once in a while I roll a 6 3 times? I pull down and randomly I got 3 7s. I don't know. It just happens.
Well, tell me when it's that happened in politics. When have you ever heard of that happen in politics?
Right.
You know what I mean? For example,
Mm-hmm.
you get one in a fucking blue moon. I know in the Premier Football it was Leicester, I think was the name of the team. They done it, and the chances of them winning was thousands to one, and in a thing where the fucking hell that
Who
had to
had
be
money on
fixed.
that bit?
Well, it's not that, but you have to throw. It's not the money even.
Yeah.
It's to throw that into for that dream. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that could be me. That could have been us.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to have that, or you'll give up. You know what I mean? You have to throw that into the fucking equation. That's you know what I mean. They're always due that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, you know what I mean. Like I've seen the football, the soccer have worked for 26 years. Manchester United never won this Premier, the division, the football, but they were winning cups, and that kept that type of supporter. No one from Manchester. There's only fucking a few from Manchester go much in real terms. So you're talking about television and all that goes along with that. You know, like the basketball, they have their audience, but the football, like I thought it was fucking brilliant the way they done it, and to bring that along, like you fucking hell, your core, and none of you's from Manchester. You know what I mean? What's the fucking going on here? You know, and none of you's from Liverpool. But Liverpool won it for 26 years, and Manchester United never won it. And then they went down and winning nearly, and then Liverpool took their turn, never winning it for fucking so long.
Right.
You know, I say, fuck's sake, you get your script writers. But I had read this in a magazine when I was growing up, Roy of the Rovers.
Okay.
What's the name of it, right? Like, I mean,
what's the name of this again?
Which?
Roy of the Rovers?
Roy of the Rovers. What's the name of the car?
Spell that first word for me.
Roy.
Roy of the Rovers.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
Just his first name. Maybe.
Right, Roy, okay.
And it gives all the kids then wanting to play football that there is.
You're Roy.
Well, you had the them playing for Manchester United. There was a guy, and Rovers wanted to, but yeah, it was just pathetic. And then the script writers move on to the manager. Then he becomes. It's not all the dirty money. All these oligarchs coming in from all over fucking Europe and all that have their ill-gotten gains into Chelsea. All these names, sexy names, where I have an apartment now that I'm running away from. But it doesn't matter. They're still all going for Chelsea. It doesn't matter how bad you are, right? I'm Chelsea till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. Doesn't matter. But Hitler's running the fucking. It's Hitler's money they're using. Doesn't matter. I'm born in fucking. But you know what I'm saying? That's to say the blacks. They could take. White men can't play fucking basketball yet. There's a load of fucking Jews running the fucking show. How many black Jews do you know? And all the fucking Jews are making the fucking money out of it because they can. They're allowed to. That's what I'm saying.
Muslims.
But I'm just saying. They can do it if they want, but they're told you can't. It's like the mafia. You aren't doing it. We're doing it. That's our job. Fuck off. You can make money out of it, Mr. Jordan. You know what I mean? 1 or 2 years.
Oh, and that reminds me too.
It's like records. The same they're doing with the record industry. They took all
that reminds me too about the reservations. So the Indian reservations that were designed here in America for the natives to go live on, that the government gave them, that were outside of government jurisdiction, literally then means that it was given to them so that the government could give them money to use their space and their property to do illegal things.
Well, when they go there, they're sovereign.
Right. So Paul says exactly these Formula One drivers learn new tricks on simulator AIs. That's how they learn to drive.
It's like that. What came first, the chicken or the egg? You know what I mean?
Together.
That's to say, we're only watch the simulation afterwards when they have it sorted out. All of us, whatever attracts us, it's that now. Like, I mean, they're not listening. There's no one listening to this, unless it's on a PlayStation and they're playing a game and they're talking about it in a game, listening to fucking some unicorn saying it to them. They might. Meanwhile,
back
at Bethesda. That's a name that's
Feeling
came up.
woozy?
No, but that's a name that's come up here.
Bethesda.
Bethesda, yeah.
And why is that?
I don't know. All roads leading back to, it's one of them. It's like a star fort for eugenicists.
Oh, the Bethlehem? Bethesda?
Mm-hmm.
Bethany. Elizabeth.
Where is it, by the way, here?
What?
Bethesda.
Bethesda?
Yeah.
I don't
Have
know.
a look there and see.
Okay. Let me look and see.
Is it in Colorado? I just wondering because they were talking about, is it Colorado? It's a dodgy state. Last night we were listening to, what's his fucking name, that guy Ryan? They were talking about Colorado was one of the colonies that they were using.
I need more than just this because it's giving me local places named that. I need more than just Bethesda, USA, because we're going to have. Yeah. Oh, is this a census? Would that be it? Bethesda, USA.
Yeah.
It gave me census design designated place in Maryland. Bethesda, Maryland. Maryland. Okay, let me share this so everybody can see what we're looking at here. It is an unincorporated census designated place in southern Montgomery County, Maryland, United States. It is located just north of Washington, D.C. According to the 2020 census, the community had a total population of, it takes its name from a local church, the Bethesda Meeting House, from 1820, rebuilt. I wonder when they rebuilt it, those mud flood people, which in turn took its name from Jerusalem's Pool of Bethesda.
Cool.
Okay, the National Institutes of Health main campus and Walter Reed National, Steph, didn't she mention Walter Reed National Military Medical Center are also in Bethesda, in addition to several corporate and government headquarters. It's located in the traditional territory of the indigenous native Piscataway. So at the time of European colonization. So it is in an indigenous spot. Most settlers were tenant farmers who paid their rent in tobacco. So a tenant farmer is somebody who farms and then grows stuff to pay back. Is that what that is? What's a tenant farmer?
Yeah.
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 So you're gonna, after I paid it off, right? So that's Johnny
tenant.
Appleseed type stuff. Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah, you
took advantage of that. The city avoided seeing action during the Revolutionary War. Oh, so the city didn't have anybody bothering it. That's very interesting. And tobacco farming was the primary way of life throughout the 1700s. It's definitely.
It was only famous citizens there.
The Postmaster General established a post office in the area and appointed Smith the first postmaster. Small settlement had grown around the toll house along the term Darcy's store. William E. Darcy. It consisted of, it's like the first mall. It had a blacksmith, a church and a school, and a few houses and stores. Interesting. Silver Spring. You got the railway, the B&O railway there. And there's where you get Battery Park. Is that where these names? I'm just going through like things that I recognize. Like, are these the things? Hook Hill.
Before the passage of the Fair Housing Act in 1968, restrictive claims were used to protest the blacks.
To exclude racial and ethnic minorities. They did not want African Americans, but they didn't want Asian Americans or ethnic groups regarded as Semitic. Semitic,
Yeah.
including Armenians, Jews, Iranians, Greeks, Turks, and Syrians. So who would they be?
Well,
No part of
Bradley
the land.
Woods.
It could not be leased or rented or given to. Negroes are any person or persons of Negro blood or extraction, or to any person of the Semitic race.
The origin, its the racial description shall be deemed to include Armenians, Jews, Hebrews, Persians, Syrians, Greeks, and Turks.
Or to any person
of the Mongolian race, blood, or origin.
which racial description shall be deemed to include Chinese, Japanese, and Mongolians. So who was allowed there? If these people were all excluded,
Aryans, obviously.
it became home and exile for the Norwegian royal family.
Well,
So obviously, Norwegian doesn't count as these other people that there's some. Is that what I'm reading?
well, no problem. Yeah, they let them go there. What's this? Thrown after the election of September.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, let's see. Go down a bit.
The Metro Rail. Sorry. It has a total, look, it only 2 square miles, of which 13.1 square miles and 0.1 square miles is water. The main commercial corridor that passes through is Maryland Route 355, known as Wisconsin Avenue. Okay. The demographics. Well, look, they got in anyway. Damn it. And that's all of their. So why is it's just the home of an ambassador? A number of ambassadors live there, including the ambassador of Bangladesh, Haiti, Cape Verde, Ghana, Honduras.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't even know all of this, but the places they're labeling, these are Haiti, Honduras. Do we know what's going on in these places? Nicaragua, Zimbabwe, Bangladesh. I mean, look at the names of the ambassadors that live there. Their countries are crap and they do horrible things to each other. And, you know, the Clintons like them. That is crazy. No, it's not.
No,
It's
not
just
really.
fun. I don't mean it like that, you know. Bethesda Row, even a federal realty investment trust into an area called the Bethesda Row, incorporating principles of new urbanities. What is that? An urban design movement that promotes environmentally friendly habitats by it's a smart city, a walkable neighborhoods, a wide range of housing and job types. Yeah, so that's new urbanization is the term for smart city. Where everything is close to you.
Let's see what businesses are all around this.
Retail stores include.
Not
Okay.
that. I don't
Right.
know
I got it. I'm going. Just looking.
Chevy Chase High School. Johnson High School.
7 Locks. Wingate. Not very many. It's a small little town there. Private schools. French International School. It's also federally funded and operated health science university. Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences. It has a Japanese language school there. Here's the economy. There's their
Cambridge Information Group.
Right. It was Lockheed Martin, the Ritz, the United States Enrichment Corporation.
Wellness.
I know.
Yeah, I love it. Look at that wellness through there. Very big crowd.
Oops. Okay. Wellness Solutions is a company that works to promote healthy workplace cultures through biometric screenings, health coaching, and comprehensive wellness programs. Programming. Jeez. Exchange traded funds. Yeah, that's very interesting. Fox television stations are there in Viva, the world's largest producer of wood pellets.
Yeah, see, they're no good.
They're responsible for, what does it say there? They're responsible for 50 acres a day of clear-cut land. There's your IT. What's the headquarters? The French multinational group specializing in nuclear power. Notable people, journalists, chefs, football players, ballet dancers, golfers, Secretary of Agriculture under Eisenhower. There's your Eisenhower again. Wolf Blitzer. Connie Chung. Get the last names. Chess Grandmaster. That's a pretty small town to have all these famous people coming out of it. Do you see what I'm saying? It had like 10 elementary schools.
Chair of the nuclear.
Did I go up too far? Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah, they live there. Maybe that's why. Iranian royalty has moved in when they said no Iranians. Didn't they say that? Or did I miss? Maury Povich came out of there too. Look at that. Cookie Roberts. A senator for Oregon. So you got a lot of people there. It's interesting anyway. Where are you from?
Yeah. I thought
To
there
have
was more.
so many people in that come from there.
Well, it's a big name in that game, software game, or in like you're buying up a lot.
Very interesting. All right, let's see what people are saying here. And then I guess we'll go since nobody wanted to join us. I forget my reading, writing, and arithmetic lessons. People like Hunter and political clown crew members are more worried about their financial backers who want results. Biden, Bush, Obama, Trump are not worried about us little people. Exactly. Yeah, we did that one. If Biden do not deliver on their UK rain promises, they will get the what is this word? Chincheska vacation.
Well, they done that with where was that? In Romania. Took them out and just killed the whole family.
Oh, is that the treatment?
But they done that with
They like that.
In Moscow that time. They did that with the royal family, with their cousins of, well, they'd have been, let me see, King Charles, they'd have been his granduncles and aunties would have been the Russians. Remember they killed them in the Second World War. That's what they done. The Russian family they just took them out and killed them all. Just shot them all like that. The same thing, but that was his cousins. Their cousins.
Oh, okay.
The Russian, the German, and the English cousins. Well, that's your history tells you anyway.
Maybe
what
they'll
they're
all
doing with
just
them,
kill
so-
each other and we can take
Yeah,
over.
could be.
Eddie Jordan, the great Irish connection to Formula One, did his apprentice in Bank of Ireland main branch across from Trinity College. The car's drivers aren't main show, but all real deals are made in boardrooms.
Mm-hmm. And if they can get enough fucking idiots to go out and support, yeah, it's an Ireland flag, but nothing to do with Ireland. Only, you know what I mean? They can use you as their, hey, you know what I mean? But it doesn't make fucking sense. How easy it is to do it, if you know what I mean. Like fucking, oh, we have race cars here. No, you haven't.
Right.
You just have a flag going around the fucking thing with Ireland on it, and you just have an imaginary. You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah,
it's exactly the same. But hey, if it gives everyone an uplifting thought for a few minutes, that some blokes are just taking the piss out of you, making a fortune out of it because you just think it's great that car's going around with an Irish flag on it.
right.
Great, fair play to you. These are.
You'll buy every everybody's buying that NASCAR that says that's advertising.
That's all it is.
Just a simple. It can be complicated. It can be simple. The history of Maryland is fascinating. It extends up to Canada and long-standing ties to European businesses. Well, I was kind of assuming that, Charming, because as I'm reading it, seems like the French got their fingers involved. What I also found interesting about doing these things about our founding fathers was that in that one particular children's book, it asked each and every one the question, was he a fan of France? So everyone that they featured in that book had their stance on France, and not their stance on England, not their stance on Mexico or Spain or anybody else that might have been involved in that time. They wanted to know how they felt about France.
So they were carving it up.
Because at that time, the French and the British and the Spaniards were around here. All of the natives were divided between the three. That's how we got three different places. And that's kind of the elementary school version of how we got here. But they were a lot of those old war stories from battles, the French and the British were over here fighting each other it was all, do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, a lot of natives knew French. So, I don't know. I'm only telling you the things that I pick up in children's books and movies and things. But I do think that there's a lot more involved there than we even realize. It's an euphemism for white slave attendant. That's what I was thinking. Good. Thank you for making that clear. Agriculture for food, feed the masses, was changed to tobacco, feed the rich. Mm-hmm. So quick growing food, grow tobacco. Germanic and Slavic immigrants are welcome. That's what Bethesda would have allowed if you were Germanic or you were Slavic.
And Slavic, then, yeah. We were just looking at that, what they done there in Yugoslavia, Serbia.
Okay.
Where they broke it up. NATO again, going in, well, it's called BSE systems and all these, where their biggest headquarters is in Europe. Yeah, well, that's when they broke up. That last, when you see them going in, that was a NATO-led mission.
Okay.
Just saying, like they have all.
So
that
who is in charge of these cultures now? I don't know the right terms. Who's the head of their Germanic and Slavic peoples? Who's their head right now?
Well, Germanic is Germany.
Okay. So who is a German that's in power? Who would those people be? Legitimately, I'm asking like
I haven't even looked. I don't know. The last thing I seen was that
Charming, do you know?
What's her name? Angela Merkel was the last time I seen any of them to look at. And
aren't they the royal family? Aren't they German?
The last time I heard from her was when she accepted 1 million people that were coming up from Syria and that from all them countries that were being forced up through Hungary and them places, and she took them in.
Okay.
That was 15, 20 years ago.
Am I wrong in remembering that the royal family is of German They're not even British,
No.
or
They'd have
where am I? Tell me the correct.
Germanic.
Oh,
yeah.
I am right.
Yeah,
then.
they're
Okay.
Bose-aligned fucking some German fucking branch, but they're all. That's what I'm saying. They're all. They were family. They were proper cousins. You know,
Right.
related. They were.
Yeah. Fair.
And they wouldn't take the Russian ones in. They let them die.
Mm-hmm.
What they done with the Romanians ones that they stick in. But
Okay.
very, you know what I mean? Hitler.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
That's what I keep thinking. Very interesting. Canada is a joint cooperation funded by Britain and France, i.e., that's why no native language Canadians, just the conquerors. That's from Paul.
yeah, it was the Hudson Bay Trading Company up there.
I would not.
Well, they were all trading
No.
companies that went in there. Like, I mean, you just get the United States Trading Company. That's all that is. Like, I mean, that's
Okay.
what this is.
Yeah.
That's what you're sitting in. That's only
Yeah.
just a load of
I see what you're
corporation
saying.
or a load of companies got together and made a corporation. And it says, right now, these are all our slaves. We make them citizens.
Right.
You know,
We'll let
like,
them live real good so they don't feel like they're,
well,
you know,
no,
trapped.
they make a trust. You know, when you see the name trust, you think it's trust. No, they've made a trust for you.
Right.
And look, I'm learning this myself. Just
Yeah. Well, that's what
And
we're
after
doing
you're
here.
gone, they
We're
keep
trying
that
to
trust.
figure out what all
They will
this
look
is
after
saying.
that trust for you.
Yeah.
And that trust is for 99 years after you're gone as well. So
True.
they have to be used to that
True.
for all that length of time. That's why they want your name all the time, because they'll identify your name along with that number that you've given you.
Okay.
And that's why the police, that's why they want you to identify yourself, because if they haven't got your identity, they don't know who to bill. That's what it is. That's all their third parties.
Can I just
working
give
for-
him my
working
driver's
for the
license
US.
number? They
No,
ask
but
for
they're
my
working for-
identity.
But you've
Rattle
registered
off
your
my number.
vehicle. Everything you do is say, right, you can rob me now. I'm giving you permission. When you register that, you're after buying it, but you have to register. It's registered to you now. Right, so you're giving them what? You're letting me. All right, so you don't own the fucking roads even. That's a
Uh-huh.
different authority. But now and it's a whole different ballgame with laws and fucking that you've given them and you
Mhm.
register them. If you don't register them, listen, you're not the king of me, right?
Right.
This is a public fucking space. I'm not a commercial fucking vehicle. But you've registered yourself to us. We just want you to identify so we can register.
Right.
That is that registered.
Right. What's wrong with that? I just want to write your name down. I just need to know who you are.
But I'm not registered.
I don't know
I don't
you.
tell you. I don't have to tell
Hello,
you.
my name is Steve.
You're only
Right.
no. But as far as I'm saying, I know that's the way it works. But as far as I'm saying, you're just a person who's have to come on up to me with a badge, right? And you want to know my name. Out of courtesy, I'm just saying to you, why do I have to give you my fucking name? What have I done? I've done nothing wrong here.
Right.
You're saying that I have that.
You know who
but
I am, damn it.
The last thing they're going to tell you is.
Don't you know who my father is?
Yeah, but the last thing they're going to tell you, they don't know.
Right.
They're told to go up and get your name anyway, right? That's all they have to do, and they by fucking God, you know what I mean?
And they trained you
Yeah,
to respond to your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign your name at the top of the paper.
But that's when you
With
get
the date.
when everyone catches up with that, right? That's what I mean. It's not tree hugging or fuck all. It's all contract.
Yeah.
I hang on. I have no contract. You're weird in that. And then when you see, like, all of that, the way it's all, use a 50 big countries here, 50 big states. That the 13 that was at first.
Yeah.
Them guys, what did you've seen it yourself. That 1% of them 13 blokes turned around and says, listen, we'll protect our interests here because we don't want to share it with everyone fucking else.
Right.
So we make them all believe that they're Americans. They're the same as us.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll protect what we already have.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, that's the way. That's simplifying the fucking thing. But
well, that's really what you have to do because it's so complicated. You really can't be. You have to be able to explain this in juvenile terms so that a 5-year-old can understand what you're saying.
Well, it goes to it's even more in God.
Hey, William.
In God we trust,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's where the Pope comes into it.
Yeah.
Right, in God, and it's Trust, not trust.
Right.
Trust. Your name is in a trust now, right?
Yeah.
Not the
Right.
trust you
I
think
get
in
ya.
God we trust. No, you're
It's a
you're
play
being
on those
registered.
words.
You've been registered now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
So
brilliant.
trust me.
Trust the plan.
Well, that's what I mean. When you go looking for your, oh yeah, but they have you in that trust now, and that's the way that all them businesses have worked ever since what 1666.
Yeah. Something like
That's
that.
the way they came, and all them businesses, all them, what were they?
Yeah, when you realize these guys were all lawyers and rich.
Well, they
people's
owned the companies. They
children.
were big directors, or CEOs of these big companies. It's not as if they come out of nowhere. That's what I'm saying. When you see that place, Potosi,
Mhm.
they were doing business out of it. They were buying the silver out of there to pay their armies. They were buying gold, silver, all around to pay their fucking armies. The same ever since Rome. When Rome stopped, what were they found? They were paying them with shit. They couldn't afford to pay for the silver, so they were giving them fucking half silver or whatever. Right?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's, and it's always been like that. You see it in Potosi. That's what I say. I never had learned about Potosi in my fucking history books. What
Right.
they should have been fucking teaching us. How all these Spanish armadas and all these, what was paying for their fucking, they were getting cheap silver to pay for their armies from there. Simple. That's how they were able to fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? An army fucking doesn't march on its fucking, you have to buy guns. They're not giving you guns. They have to pay for them some way.
Right.
You know, so.
Interesting.
Well, I don't think it's rocket fucking science. People get mixed up in fucking all the paraphernalia that goes along with it and the fucking thing, and you just see it. It's in front of you. They've never changed once. These businesses, they put a fucking crown on them, and you know what I mean. People think that they're magic all of a fucking sudden. Really?
So Williamson.
Hey, William, good to see you, brother.
Well, that's it then. Nobody wanted to come up and chat with us,
Nah,
so we're
all
done.
right.
We
So
got other
we've
things
what
to
do
do.
you mean? Lots of things to do.
Yeah. And I'll come back and share, not on a live stream, but I'll go through some of those things that we talked about and gather my tabs appropriately. So, and then I'll just put that video up.
I want to ask William, has he got 9/11 coming up next week? He's a surprise visitor, I think. Coming. Is that here?
I have seen a lot of people talking about 9/11 again suddenly, so I don't know what that's up about, but it's hitting my news feed a lot lately.
No, that's because
yeah,
it's supposed to be a party coming up or something.
Everybody's revisiting. Could be the algorithm I'm in though, so I shouldn't assume too much in it. But yeah, so fun times.
Well, it's like, why does the picture of the king come up? You know what I mean? That red.
Oh. Hang on, I thought of something.
Yeah.
Hold on, I thought of something. Is that still here? Hold on, no. Let me move. It is. Okay.
Watch Leave the World Behind last week. Is that a documentary, William? Or film?
We missed you yesterday, William.
Where? Oh, his
coming over. No, him coming over
here. Oh, I
here.
had to tell about the bridge.
I had said to you about it earlier in the stream. I was just shared about the questioning of, and I said, I'm sure we'll wait till we have a friendly conversation where you can tell her, do you want to share now or do you want to wait? About your harrowing. I said, you donned a cape and everything. You were like,
I was not. But these things, you just think, let's say, you just think they happen on TikTok, but when you see it happen in real life, you just say, fuck, these things happen every day. This is.
Oh, I see. Let me, systems. Okay. So you didn't feel like it. No, I get that. No, I can't do that. So never mind. All right.
It was surreal. It was so fucking surreal. I'm just saying nothing.
Mm-hmm. It was a moment.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think it was life or death. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was life or death. I just thought I was going to see a train
No.
crash into a fucking.
It wasn't life or death, but it was still very. What are the odds? Like we were discussing that in general. What are the odds that left up to that moment where you happen to be at that train crossing at that exact moment within 10, what did you say, 5 minutes of the train coming? 5 to 10 minutes. The train was there.
The train was there within 5 minutes,
Yeah.
of us seeing that getting onto the track, and the train had stopped within 5, But we didn't know. It was still coming down the track. We didn't know till it had stopped. Someone had been in touch with it to tell it.
Interesting.
And it was a train, or a passenger train. It was an Amtrak. So.
Oh, was it even?
Yeah. So they would have been.
That messes up everybody's timing. That's like, air traffic control. You got one airplane and that messes up every airplane.
Especially on a fucking Friday too.
Because
everyone's
on a
all them
schedule.
people on that train fucking. But no.
Did it come to a complete stop? Did the train actually have to stop? Okay.
I was like, it was a good bit away. Like, but it's more your imagination that is working. With me, it was. I don't know what the rest of them probably laughing, saying this fucking things. But at the same time, I wouldn't have reacted any different. You know what I mean? Whether I knew or whatever, just get out there. But it was everyone else just standing around the fucking place.
No one was doing anything.
That was the surreal thing.
You just grabbed the chain and ran over.
No, I went over and asked him. I said, "None of you's got a chain here."
Yeah.
And he says, "Police have arrived there. They're not going to let you do that anyway." And I says, "Well, I wait till he tells me not to. Give us it." And we did. Your man hooked it on then underneath, and we got it off the thing. But then it was so fucking surreal the way they were all standing there, no one wanting to help.
Right.
But then again, that's what I mean. They were probably waiting for fuck everyone on the train, and you know what I mean. Friday evening, let's watch this for the
right. We got what we're going to talk about this weekend now. So, and everybody on the
look at this fucking agent with these what was it wearing?
I did too, Paul. I did too.
I'd a pair of fucking.
He was wearing his
pajamas on me.
Yeah, he had his Pink Floyd pajama bottoms on.
And the fucking
going up to the scrapyard.
Steel-toed boots.
Steel-toed boots. It was quite a sight to see.
Oh, man.
This is fun. I think that was funny, Paul. I got the same. I woke up to it this morning. William says he still never even received his invitation.
Notification.
Well, I'm going to be streaming off from yesterday. Paul said he just now got it today. That's when I got mine this morning. I woke up to it 1 hour ago. I got my live notification on Joni Rotten channel for the live I did on this channel yesterday. It just now showed up. That's what he's saying. He didn't even get that notification till today that we were live yesterday.
Yeah, well, I tagged William for today. I think I tagged him in yesterday's as well.
Yeah, I tagged. I did tag because I knew it was going to do that. And so if you didn't see Puny Citizen, go and watch that one more so than this one. This was just my random thoughts.
Where's that book? Show me that book.
Well, that's what I was trying to get.
I love
so I need to come back. So I might end this. I'm going to turn around and re-record anyway. So if you guys want me to, I'll leave it up to the chat. I don't know what's going on. It's Sunday. So I can either turn around and come back live with some of the other stuff that I'm going to go into bigger detail with, or because this was kind of recap, or I can just record them and then publicly. So do you guys want to be a part of the information when I'm breaking it down? Do you want to be live while I'm doing it, or do you want me to just record it and then put it up live? I'll leave it up to you guys. You decide. I'll still break it up into segments, so the lives may only be like an hour long, so that the information is out there without all the extra fluff. But you're welcome to chat along with me or along the side while I'm reading the information that I'm going to share. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want me to do the shares live where you can, type in your comments as it's coming? Or would you prefer me to record it and then upload it? You guys tell me.
So much in this.
There's a lot in that. I'm going to start reading through. I looked and you cannot find the audiobook of Hunter Biden's laptop. So I'm going to provide that. A puny citizen had told me she couldn't find it either. I couldn't find it. So she's left it with me, and you enjoy. I do too. So there's 1 vote for Come Back Live. 2 votes for Come Back Live. All right. So 2, and I'm just going to kind of assume everyone. All right. So you're subscribed to this channel. This is my backup channel. I also encourage you to subscribe to Uluk's channel because I often use him as a backup channel when I'm hitting 2 places at once. And put on notifications, and we'll do our very best. I also do not tag my videos. Literally, no one will find anything that I share. And part of that is an intentional act. I don't want a lot of attention. So I kind of like flying under the radar, but it means that I don't get much interaction. So it's word of mouth is how you get into this club. So I'll end this stream now and then give me a little bit and I'll come back live again. If there's somebody else that's live today, you don't feel like you have to pick. It's okay. Go hang out with the other person. But if someone is going live that you already know is a planned live, please speak so now and give us a link so that I don't want to go live with them. I would rather hang out in their room so I can go live any other time. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to go through your lives, upcoming lives for Sunday. Tell me who's going to be live and share their link. And if there isn't anybody, or I'll work in between those lives because they don't want to take we are all sharing such great stuff. I don't have anything that can't wait or be shifted around. But I am going to go through and read this. This is very interesting. So it's about 2 inches thick, but it is Hunter Biden's, all of his laptop, computer, and cell phone. And it's broke down into sections, so I can kind of read it off a little as well. And I'll just set up my camera to view the pages as I'm turning them so you guys can see the pictures as well. We'll kind of do a read along.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that sounds interesting? I mean, I don't know if I'll get through the whole thing. We can pick and choose, or we can start and see what happens.
Mm.
Did I find? I have not found his poem yet. I forgot to look. So let me put a note here. Hunter's poem. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Ragnar Iron Spear usually goes live Sunday evening, or the Casey podcast. I don't know the Casey podcast, but I do know Ragnar, and I listen to him as well. So I'll check and see what he's got going on, and we'll just work around that. Masshole, what's up? What's going on? Yes, we'll take a break. Enjoy some of the day. Okay, so we'll do that. Then I'll find Ragnar, and then we'll work around that. Because like I said, they may just be 20 minutes or an hour, but I'll just throw them out this week with all this stuff that's been going on. All right. Thank you, everyone who inspires me and each other as we're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. Let's get something to eat.
All right. Bye.
Bye.